Okay, I guess I'll do a third video. This idea came to me when I was responding to a private tweet, which I'll obviously not show because, well, it's private. I think this is a very interesting topic to discuss, especially the latest Dragon Ball update having quite the effect on the thoughts of Season 3. It's also a small video I can get out while I work on a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's explain how this is going to work. I'm going to go through 3 different subjects that I believe are important to why I think Fortnite has changed a little too much. These subjects are story, overall tone in the game, and collaborations. The third one may not sound important, but trust me, it kind of is, and I'll get onto that later. What I'm going to do in each of these is compare it to how it is now to how it was in Chapter 1. Now, before you start thinking, oh, it's just another Chapter 1 praising video, no, it's not. I believe Chapter 1 Season X is a massive turning point for Epic and how they were going to handle their later seasons, and if you listen to my point of view, I'll explain why I think this. In Chapter 1, I think it's fair to say that while there was a massive story going on, it was not exactly the focus. It was a focus, but not the focus. The story didn't have much to it, but I think what was enjoyed about it was how pure random it was. We went from Purple Cubes to Ice King, and not only that, but it had mystery. The 7 was this force that we didn't really know much about. Hell, one of them was revealed in Season 4, and then it took until Season X for us to get any more. Even with it being random though, it kinda did feel fluid. You could argue that the Ice King just randomly appearing wasn't fluid, but it was one time, and Season 7 was fucking great, so I think you can let it slide. Most of it is caused by one event. Without the visitor showing up on the island, the rift can't be opened, so then the Kevin can't appear, and Season 6 never happens. If the Ice King doesn't show up, the prisoner is never freed, and so Season 8 never happens, and neither does Season 9. Nor does Season X, because the Devourer doesn't exist, so the mecha never needed to be created, so the 0 point was left completely intact. It's all cause and effect. Now let's look at Chapter 2. The story becomes the focus. Not a focus, the focus. The story isn't random either. It's now an actual story that tries to take itself seriously. The mystery aspect is there, but in terms of cause and effect... So, okay, it is there, but only during the arcs. For this to make sense, I'm going to explain what I mean by arcs. Seasons 1 to 3 is the Ghost vs. Shadow arc, Season 4 to 6 is the 0 point arc, and Season 7 and 8 is the Last Reality arc. These arcs each have cause and effect in them, but not between them. For example, the device happens leading to the event... For example, the device happens leading to the flood in Season 3, and then at the end of Season 3, Galactus is suddenly on his way. There is nothing in Season 3 that explains for fucking hell. There is nothing in Season 3 that happens for Galactus to appear. I know it's explained that Galactus has been on his way to the island since the end event, but that's only if you listen to a Marvel podcast Donald Mustard was on one time. Then, after Season 5, Season 6 is caused by the Zero Crisis event, where the Rock seals the 0 point and tells Jonathan to survive, and they'll find each other eventually. This causes the primal event everyone and their grandma despises, but then the end of the season happened, and suddenly, fuck it, aliens. Out of fucking nowhere. And again, there was nothing in Season 6 that would cause them to appear. They are just here now, and this isn't the only flaw either. Chaos Agent and Midas. Midas' arc is all fucking over the place. No one honestly knows what is happening anymore with him. And Chaos Agent had a final form tease, which you could argue was Chaos Origins, but that can be disproved if you look at what Origins means. Jules does nothing either for some reason, like she's hinted at in Season 2, is officially introduced in Season 3, and then she sits there for the rest of the season and leaves in Season 4. And that's another common thing in this chapter. Some seasons, straight up nothing happens. Season 5 really only matters at the very end when the 0 point starts acting goofy. Season 3 can just be skipped entirely, and Season 8, what happened? Like, seriously, where did they go wrong? The story in Season 7 was pretty solid, and then Season 8 occurs and fuck all happens. No wonder we didn't beat the aliens. We had no plan at all. Just build turrets and unvault stuff. That isn't a plan at all. And let's not forget Bluevin, who sat on his ass for the entire season, pulls up at the event, does a single thing, and then dies. Okay. I think that's enough before I actually completely lose my shit. On to the next topic. The tone in Chapter 1 was very cartoony, and this was basically reflected everywhere, in the graphics, the story, even the gameplay as cosmetics. When you opened the game, you knew what you were getting. This is a game which is overall chaos and fun. The map changes were crazy, and they continued on throughout every season. This is a game you could pick up and have fun with. You could walk around as a guy in a llama costume fighting a fucking Ice King and a guy in a T-Rex onesie. It's not as crazy as Goku throwing hands with Spider-Man, but definitely the tone of the game. Season X, I think, was where the tone really peaked, but also where Epic started to take a step back. Mechs everywhere, classic POIs were invented with new twists, and a map that was overall fucking crazy. I mean, look at this thing. But the thing about Season X is it was also where, unfortunately, Fortnite hit one of its lowest points ever. People complained all over the place about mechs, and at one point, Epic nerfed turbo building, which just made the situation worse. It was not good, and I think Epic took the wrong lessons from it. The next season was the beginning of Chapter 2. It was basically a back to basics. The loot pool was less chaotic, and so was the map. This isn't a bad thing at all, as it's the start of a chapter, but you could definitely tell they went with a more realistic approach, especially with how the graphics and lighting became a lot less cartoony, and the story starts taking itself seriously, unlike Chapter 1. Chapter 3 is a mix of both, thankfully, and I definitely think that's helped it, even if it's not much. Even then, though, I think Chapter 2 suffers a lot from this. Such a big tone jump is really jarring, especially going from a chaotic season to a really calm and chilled out season. Oh boy, here we go. This is something I've been thinking about a lot since the Dragon Ball update. I think collaborations definitely became a focus, and once again, at the start of Chapter 2. In Chapter 1, we had collabs, but it was few and far between. They existed, but they weren't the focus, and when they did exist, they didn't take away from original Fortnite cosmetics or the season itself. Now, let's meet Chapter 2, where the amount of collabs went from, oh, that's neat, I wonder when we'll get the next one, to, oh my fucking god, they're everywhere. They even started taking Battle Pass slots with the start of Season 2, and now we literally get 1 or 2 every Battle Pass. Hell, there was a whole season dedicated to just Marvel. Chapter 2 Season 6 handled collabs the best, in my opinion. There weren't many, and the ones that did happen actually fit the fucking theme. Chapter 2 Season 5 was just collabs, and Season 7 was good, but it once again had an overabundance of collabs. And this carries over to Chapter 3, and I can now tell why I've been thinking about this. No one cares for the original stuff anymore unless it's an event. The Dragon Ball update literally proves this. No one cared or even really played most of the current season, including myself. Then 21.40 happened, and suddenly everyone is playing the game again, even bringing new players / players who aren't massive Fortnite fans. Which I think is really sad, because Fortnite has a great team working on it. The original stuff is good, but now with collabs being 100 times more frequent, it's not recognized enough, and no one plays it for that anymore. They play it so they can watch LeBron James wearing a Among Us battling, while Naruto swings over with Spider-Man's web shooters, hit him with a Kamehameha, and then proceed to go fight Darth Vader. Not because they're interested in the story, or because they're interested in the game itself. It's primarily because of collabs now, which is really damn sad. Don't take me as this hating collabs, by the way. I like them. Hell, I religiously collect Spider-Man cosmetics, and the No Way Home Spidey is my second main. I just don't like they took attention away from original content. Anyways, enough with collabs. Let's conclude. I know I repeat myself a lot during this video, especially during the Chapter 1 parts, but I think it highlights something with how Fortnite has changed. I think what went wrong was when Epic decided they wanted to, 1, make collabs the focus, and 2, change the entire tone of the game to be less Saturday morning cartoony. Making the story the focus isn't a bad idea, but even the story has been very flawed, and the collabs are currently keeping the game afloat. The Dragon Ball announcement is Fortnite's most liked tweet ever. Change isn't a bad thing, but when you take the core aspects of what made the game interesting and change them completely, people who've been playing for years are gonna feel like the game has deviated too much and it's not as good as it used to be. And you can tell Fortnite is trying to get those players back. Look at the map and look at how similar it is to Chapter 1, and how they made skins based on Chapter 1 this season. But that's not good enough, unfortunately. Epic, you need to take your focus off of collabs. Focus on your original stuff, make the game more Saturday morning cartoony again, and focus on keeping the story consistent, good, and bring back cause and effect, because that's what was good about Chapter 1's story, and stop it from feeling like a mess. But anyways, thank you for watching. If you want to follow my Twitter, it'll be linked down below, as well as my Discord server. I know a lot of my content has become negative lately, however I do plan on changing this with my next video, which should be reviewing the shows I was forced to watch this summer, unless something happens and I make another video before that.